Sam Dolly here. Tonight I'm going to be breaking down the recap of a great divisional round in the NFL playoffs. What an end of the weekend. Two classic games out, one in Pittsburgh and one in Minnesota. What a way to wrap it up and essentially get ready for the conference championship weekend, just like we all predicted, right? In the preseason, Jacksonville at New England, Minnesota at Philly. Well, that's what we got now in the conference championship round, and I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very physical round. I'll get to that in a second. But first, what a day out in Pittsburgh. All week long, you heard the Steelers players guarantee wins, that they were going to sweep. They were going to get their revenge against Jacksonville, and then they were going to go to Foxborough and beat Tom Brady again. Oh, not again. They were going to get their revenge for that botched call that cost them the game in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, earlier in the season, or later in the season, sorry, that essentially cost them the number one seed. Excuse me. Yes, it's ridiculous. They weren't prepared. They didn't come up prepared. They didn't come out ready to play, I thought. Really, I do credit Jacksonville. They came out ready to go. They were energized. They were the more prepared team to play. They were out. Pittsburgh got out coached. They got outplayed in the first half. It took a Ryan Shazier speech at halftime to get that Steelers team going. And that's the big problem I have. And I think this is an indictment on Mike Tomlin. This has been a problem for them under Tomlin and the Tomlin era. Is they've had moments where they play down to their opponent. They play up or down to whoever they're playing. So they play a good team, they play well. Play a bad team, they play bad. That's just kind of what it's been. And today, the Jaguars are not a bad team; they're a good team. But you kind of sense that the Steelers didn't take the Jacksonville Jaguars seriously, and as a result, they lost. It cost them a home playoff game, and I think this is a legacy. This is a legacy beater for Big Ben Roethlisberger. There's no way Brady and Belichick would have let this happen in the divisional round. You saw it leading up to the week leading up to Tennessee. Is all you heard was we're on to Tennessee, we're taking questions on the Titans, we're focused on the Titans, we're preparing for the Titans, and it shows. It shows, and that's the difference between the Patriots and everybody else. Everybody's talking trash, getting on Twitter and posting how they're going to beat this guy and that guy, and the Patriots are just sitting, watching film, dissecting everything. Excuse me. And I'll just go on and say this: I'm still disappointed in the officiating, but officiating, like whatever's going, like the flu around the United States, and I'm still got a bit of a cough, and I do apologize for it. But officiating has been kind of a disease going around in every sport. You've seen some poor officiating in soccer. You're seeing it in the NBA. We saw it in the first half in the Titans-Patriots game. I thought it kind of sucked the life out of the Titans. Tennessee was not going to beat the Patriots in Foxborough, but that game was going to be competitive, or at least it looked like it was going to be a competitive game until, I think a lot of the calls were just backbreakers, like especially the one on the punt, the 4th and 10. At the time, the Patriots were leading only 14-7. It was a one-score game. Tennessee had a shot, and then it looked like a false start to the Patriots, and they initially called it a false start until they changed it to a encroachment that gave the Patriots a first down. And the Patriots up scoring, going 21-7, and they ended up winning 35-14. And in this game today with the Steelers and Jaguars, I saw a couple pass interference penalties that should have been called in the fourth quarter against Jacksonville that just weren't called. And okay, missed calls happen. Referees are human, but at the end of the day, in a playoff game in which someone's season's on the line, both team seasons are on the line, if there's a call to be made, you got to make it. If you see something, I know the refs don't want to decide the game, don't want to be the reason somebody advances, but you got to make that call. And I think today, you kind of saw Jacksonville at the end. There was a couple pass interference calls that should have been made that weren't, and it's disappointing to see poor officiating in sports. I'm not saying games are fixed or anything, but it just makes it just creates outrage amongst fans, and it gives people something to talk about for days. But The Steelers came out pretty bad. I mean, they were awful in the first half. They looked lethargic. It was just an awful game for the first half for Pittsburgh. And again, this is why I think it's time for a change, a new head coach in Pittsburgh. And why do I say it's a legacy hit for Big Ben? Well, Big Ben has lost to Tebow in the playoffs. He's lost to Joe Flacco. He's lost to Mark Sanchez. He's lost to some pretty meh quarterbacks in the postseason. Quarterbacks that I think Tom Brady and the Patriots would have just absolutely annihilated. And I just think that's an indictment of him. You're not leading your team against meh quarterbacks. So, and Jacksonville, I mean, don't get me wrong, Jacksonville is a very good defense, a very strong running game, but Bortles is not a great quarterback. To me, there's still talks about them replacing him, even though there's no chance of him replacing, even though there's no chance of them replacing him now, because they've advanced. But Bortles, there's just times where he's just not trustworthy, and especially in big moments, and when you put pressure on him, he does tend to fold. And I think you'll see that in Foxborough next week. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But what a game out in Minnesota. But, go back to Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. This is an indictment of the Steelers not being ready. And it's an indictment of Mike Tomlin. It's time for him to go. It's time for a new change. It's time for a new coach, a new leader, a new voice. And maybe it's time for a change of quarterback. Big Ben didn't exactly lead his team today. Sorry. But when you're playing at home in a playoff game and you're playing against a team that scored only 10 points last week, it's coming into your building, and you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're this big, proud franchise that's built on winning championships, you can't get beat. You can't get outplayed, and you can't get outcoached. And that's what happened for the Steelers. But moving on to Minnesota and the Saints, what a great game. It started off ugly for the Saints, 17-0. They came back, it took the lead. And Case Keenum, a guy that the Rams and Texans gave up on, had a monster throw. It was a great throw, a great catch by Stephon Diggs. Took it to the house. Game over. Season over for the Saints. And I thought that was incredible. It was a great play call. Everybody's getting on Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams I think what he was trying to do was he was trying to push Stephon Diggs out. While he was in midair, it would have left no time for the Vikings to spike the ball and kick the field goal. But what a play. I mean, for a guy that essentially two franchises gave up on, and he almost gave up on his dream of playing in the NFL. And same thing with Nick Foles. It's just great to see guys who almost gave it up, not give up on their dream, and just make these big plays. And then Case Keenum really made the big play when his team needed it the most. Drew Brees was better in the second half than the first. I think that's how great the Vikings defense is. They are a very physical defense. But I just think at the end of the day, it came down to one possession and that one play. Sometimes that's what it comes down to in sports. One play, one possession, and Case Keenum made that play. And so we're going to have a very physical championship round. Excuse me. So what to expect? I think New England is going to beat Jacksonville. Then Belichick is going to be much more into everything on Jacksonville's offense. They're going to try everything to take away Fournette. And really, it's going to be about Jacksonville's defense. Can they dominate the game? Can they beat Brady? Can they beat Brady bad enough to where he's turning the ball over and they're excuse me. They're creating havoc. They're forcing turnovers, and they're giving Bortles and Fournette and Yeldon a short field. I do think Fournette, being injured, getting hurt in today's game, it's going to be interesting to see how that heals up as the week goes on. But he will. I'm assuming he's going to play. Of course he is. It's the AFC title game. But Jacksonville has a puncher's chance because of the run game, the defense, but again, Belichick's going to make Bortles beat him, and that's going to be the difference in this game. Bortles is not going to be able to make those plays, and Belichick is not Tomlin. He's not going to be unprepared. He's going to be ready, and this is at Foxborough. I think the Patriots might get a call or two. I'm sorry, I'm just going to say that, and I think the Patriots I think the Patriots will win. I think they'll pull away close in the fourth quarter. I'm going to say Patriots 24, Jacksonville 17. They'll keep it close. Brady will take over in the second half. In the fourth quarter, pull away, and it'll and it'll be New England and Minnesota for the Super Bowl. Excuse me. And speaking of Minnesota and Philly, two physical defenses. This is going to be a defensive slugfest. I could see this being a 13-10 game. Both quarterbacks. I think the quarterback that doesn't make the mistakes is going to be the one. Obviously, that's so cliche, but in this game, I think it's so crucial with their defenses. Philly's got probably the better run game. I'm leaning towards Philly, but I think because I think Case is a better quarterback, and I tend to lean towards a better quarterback. I've done it all postseason long. It's kind of bitten in the butt in the sense of this round with Pittsburgh and the Saints. But I'm still going to pick the better quarterback, and I think that's Case Keenum. I just trust Case a little bit more, and seeing what he did today, and that was a big time throw, and under intense pressure, game on the line, and I just think, again against the Falcons, Foles wasn't that great, and the Falcons defense is good. It's not Minnesota good, so I think it's going to be a close game. I think it'll be a 13-10 type score. I think we're going to have the Vikings and the Patriots. And that would be really cool to see the first team that's ever hosted it go to the Super Bowl, where their city's hosted the Super Bowl. That's going to be great. I think Tom Brady's going to have to fasten that chin strap and that Patriots pass protection better be ready to go because, man, they're facing some really good defenses in the next couple of weeks. Some very physical defenses. But I think it's going to be Minnesota and New England for the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens. Great divisional round. Looking forward to the championship round. It's going to be physical. It's going to be great football. I know a lot of fans are complaining about the quarterbacks who's playing. It's not always exciting, but it's going to be a very... The matchups don't sound exciting. Keenum versus Foles and Bortles versus Brady. But from a team standpoint, I think this is an interesting round. And I think all four of these teams have good enough defenses to win the championship. And especially the Vikings, the Jaguars, and the Eagles. I think those are the three best defenses left in these playoffs. It's going to come down to the play of the quarterback. And I think Brady's going to outplay. At least, I know at home he's going to outplay Bortles. And probably outplay Case Keenum. But we'll talk about the Super Bowl when the championship round is over. For now, my prediction is going to be Minnesota and New England. This has been Sam Darley. Thank you for watching.